If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it and support the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications. When I was a child, my grandmother's house was the kind of place that carried silence like a heavy blanket. Wooden floors that creaked no matter how softly you stepped. Portraits whose eyes seemed to follow you. And a strange, musty smell that never went away. But nothing was more unsettling than her glass cabinet of dolls. There must have been at least 20 inside, some pristine, some broken, but all with faces frozen in eerie half-smiles. And then there was the one doll that stood out. It was smaller than the rest, its dress faded and stained with age, and its porcelain face was cracked just beneath the eye. Unlike the others, its eyes weren't painted. Two glass beads stared outward, glossy and lifeless, and yet they seemed to move when you weren't looking. I once asked my grandmother about it. She only said, "That belonged to your aunt. She played with it until the day she died. Don't touch it." She never explained further, and I never had the courage to ask again. One summer evening, the power went out. The house sank into darkness, and I lit a single candle to fight off the shadows. I tried to distract myself with a matchbox I found on the table, sliding it back and forth across the floor. The sound was soft, a little comforting. That's when I noticed something wrong. The cabinet door was open, and the doll wasn't inside. It sat on the rug directly across from me. Its cracked porcelain face caught the flickering candlelight, and its eyes seemed to glisten in the dark. I froze, staring at it, telling myself maybe my grandmother had taken it out earlier. Maybe I just hadn't noticed. My hand trembled as I nudged the matchbox across the floor, a nervous habit. The box skidded and stopped right in front of the doll, and then it moved back. At first, I thought I was seeing things, but no, slowly, unnaturally, the matchbox was dragging itself toward the doll. The scratching sound of wood against carpet grew louder. I watched in horror as it reached the doll's tiny hand and stopped, as though it had been summoned. I whispered to myself, "No, it's not real." The doll's head jerked slightly, like a twitch. Its glassy eyes fixed on me for the first time. The matchbox suddenly snapped open, spilling matches across the floor. One of them struck itself against the side of the box with a sharp hiss, sparking into flame. The tiny fire illuminated the doll's face, and I swear I saw its cracked porcelain lips curve into a faint smile. The candle flickered violently, almost going out. I could barely breathe. I scrambled backward, my heart hammering, and bolted out of the room, screaming for my grandmother. When she rushed in with a flashlight, everything looked normal again. The doll was back inside the cabinet. The matchbox sat neatly on the rug, closed, as though nothing had happened. I tried to tell her what I saw, but she just looked at me with tired eyes and said, "That doll always did like to play with fire." Even now, as an adult, I sometimes wake in the middle of the night to the sound of faint scratching, like wood dragging across carpet. And sometimes in the corner of my dark room, I think I see the glint of glassy eyes and the faint hiss of a match sparking to life.